Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back with another vlog. I'm really only making one because a lot of people just ask me, when am I making a new one? And I just been so busy trying to find the time to do it that I figure right now is like probably the best time to do it. It's just been a rough couple of weeks. This week in particular has been like crazy, but I mean, me personally, it's just been a rough couple of weeks between work and all this other stuff. I got a little sick. I didn't get a chance to do stuff on the timeline that I wanted to do it. But I'm back now. I'm better. I'm feeling, I want to say, about 90%, which isn't bad because, I mean, it's winter time. My body's in pain a lot during the winter. But we got some new stuff coming up or whatever. Just some stuff I've been working on. And we're going to see what's going on. Hey, what's up, guys? As you can see, it's another day, another dollar. I was trying to finish that video for y'all the other day, but I had to bring it in today too because I wasn't feeling 100%, and I just had a lot of stuff to do. Got a kids party to go to. I don't know if a lot of y'all know, my favorite character is James Bond. No, that's right. You know, the one and only 007. And my little cousin today is having his first birthday party. And coincidentally, his name is James Bond, one of my favorite names. So yeah, I had to go pick up some Baby Shark doo-doo, or however the song goes, toys and stuff like that. Apparently he loves Baby Shark. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, what I wanted to really show you guys was some of the features that I did with BimmerCode. And it's just a ton of features that you guys can do. Like I said, I'm going to put a link in the description for everything that I purchased and everything that went with it or whatever. Super easy setup. I think in total, you know, just to you know, do the coding to my car, spent $60. $30 for the OBD Reader and $30 for the app. And there's actually two Beamer apps that you can use. So I actually bought both. The main one, the BimmerCode one, is $30, and the other one is, I think it was like $10 or something like that. So at most, altogether, you spend about $70. But $70 to release a lot of features in your car that you either don't get if you didn't pay for them, or, excuse me, that you don't get at all. Like, even if you ask BMW to give them to you, they won't activate the car, which is kind of stupid because it's like, why have it if it's not even going to be activated or whatever. Some of the stuff is really cool. Let me show you right here one of the things that I did, which is activate the horsepower and torque that shows up on the screen, so you pretty much know exactly how much you're pushing. So, you know, for an example, let's just put my foot down on the gas and see. You could see everything that's going on there. One of the things I did, because I have the heads-up display, I don't know if you can see it now, but like when I change my music or answer a phone call, now it shows up right next to the miles per hour directly on the screen. You can do a lot of things in here as well. You can actually change this to show your speed or whatever else you want to show. As for the MMI unit, I cut off all those chimes, the legal notice that comes on in the beginning and all this other stuff. You know, you got to press a million buttons. Also, the start-stop button right here. I have it permanently set to off when I start the car. Because I got tired of keep turning it off. Like, I don't even know why BMW gives it for this car. This car just burns so much gas. Stop ain't gonna do shit. To be real with you, like, it's just a pointless feature. It's like the eco button in this car. It's another thing that's like pointless. This shit. I mean, honestly, if I could delete that shit out the freaking car, I probably would. A few other things that I also added to the car, which I thought personally, where am I going? Which I thought personally was just way better, was, let's go up here, vehicle status. was adding, I just turned the car on just a few minutes ago, so it's not going to show just yet. Once I start driving, it'll show, but it'll give you the PSI and the temperature numbers for each one of your tires individually, instead of just having these green, yellow, or red, you know, tire markings or whatever. Let me show you guys the OBD reader that I bought for $30, which is working out perfectly. So this is the OBD reader that I bought, which works out perfect. Let's take it out the box real quick. The OBD reader port that I bought, you know, super simple. When you plug this in your car, you just make sure that your Bluetooth connection on your iPhone finds this. I'm not sure how to do this for Android, but the instructions aren't that difficult or even that different. I just find it directly in the Bluetooth settings on my iPhone, and what I do is just plug it in the OBD2 port that's down here. There's a blue light on it that lights up that you guys are going to see once it's plugged in, just so that you know it's just even working in general. Whatever you do, do not connect it Bluetooth to your phone. Connect it Bluetooth to in the app itself. Just make sure that your phone can find it in the Bluetooth, but make sure you connect it to the app itself. Sometimes you got to do it maybe once or twice really quick to get it working. It doesn't always connect right exactly on the first time, but yeah, sometimes you just gotta like try it like 1 or 2 times and you're pretty much good. And I mean, you could just customize your car to your liking, your sounds, your chimes, everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I just say go in the app before you do and just start, you know, toying with things. Just get used to it. Don't do anything just yet. They have a demo mode so that you can view everything that you can do and mess around. Just go through the demo mode and look at everything that you can do, things that you want to do. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I mean, I keep going back. The first day I did it, I went back maybe about 4 or 5 times after watching videos on YouTube, just to, you know, do more things that I didn't even know you can do. So yeah, don't be shy about it. You can go back as many times as you want, and when you're done, you can unplug it or you can leave it plugged up. Since I go to the track every now and then, there's actually one that I use called BimmerLink, which you can customize to show your boost, your torque, your it'll tell you exactly how much fuel is in your car, your engine temperature, your coolant temperature. So you can actually keep track of all that stuff while you're racing, or if you drive hard, or whatever it is you do in your downtime or uptime or whatever. And you can keep track of that stuff. For BimmerLink to work with your car properly, you have to keep the OBD reader plugged in the port. For Beamer Connect, you don't need to keep it plugged in. Once you code it, everything is good. But for BimmerLink, this still needs to be plugged in. And then when you're done, you know, you can unplug it. You can actually have that set so that every time you get in your car, it automatically syncs with your phone or whatever device you're using to do all this stuff. This way you could just go ahead and do it. Just make sure your device has, you know, a connection. One thing I do want to tell you guys is, you know, just being really careful. Make sure that your phone is in like airplane mode or do not disturb or whatever the case is, because while you're doing the coding and it's reading your ECU, if you get a phone call, it'll disrupt that connection between the device, your phone, and the OBD reader, which is connected to your ECU. And that could end up really having really bad consequences, and may stop you from starting your car. And you have to get it towed to a shop, have them, do all this other extra stuff. So make sure that even just receiving a phone call and you don't answer it interrupts that connection. So make sure that you guys don't have anything coming through other than just those two connections to each other, because I don't want to see y'all lose this and then you didn't tell me, you could have told us that part. Yeah, I mean, I've done it a couple times and not had on do not disturb or anything like that, or airplane mode, but it was also late at night, so I wasn't really expecting any phone calls. But when I do it, especially when I do coding in the middle of the day, I make sure all that stuff is off, at least for the time that I'm doing it. Anybody that you're on the phone with, tell them you'll call them back, or wait till you finish the phone call or whatever, and then do it. Don't try to do it while you're on the phone or whatever. Yeah, it's just a fun thing to play with. You can open and close your valves permanently using BimmerLink. For some reason, the valve opening part, I can't seem to get to work with this car. I've seen other people do it with their M3s, M4s, and other 3 series, the 1 series, the 2 series. But for some reason, the 6 series is just not letting me do it. The option is there, but it tells me that it didn't happen or whatever. So it's one of the things you just got to deal with. There's other tricks that you could look on YouTube, and just anywhere, if you're a savvy person, that will teach you how to open your valves and just keep them open. So I mean, you could look and see just how to do that. But as of right now, I need to get a car wash. Okay, so once you have everything connected, just go to continue. Pick your car out, the specific one that you have, and then go to continue at the bottom right. And as you can see, I'm using the BimmerCode app. And it's going to identify all units and just load up. Give it a few seconds. And one thing you want to do, like I said before, is make sure that your phone or whatever you're using is not going to receive any phone calls while you're doing this. So right now I have my phone in Do Not Disturb so that I won't get any phone calls coming through. Because if anything freezes while you're in the middle of doing this, you can end up screwing yourself, and you might have to take a trip getting your car towed to BMW. Just a few more seconds here. And see, now we're in everything. Advanced crash safety module, air conditioning, car access system, ComBox, footwell module, head unit, instrumentation cluster, so on and so forth. I'm not going to name all of them. But for some of you could literally just go in anything and just mess with it. One of the things that I messed with, I believe, was the head unit. And so when you click on that, it's going to take a few moments to load. It's going to see all the codes that it needs and everything that you have going on in your head unit, what's on, what's not. It's going to read all of that. And bang, there you go. You can control a lot of stuff. Right now, you can control your checkbox, daytime running light, your HUD indicators, your sport displays, which is actually what I have going on up here. These are my sport displays that I showed you guys earlier. They're in that feature, showing you your power and torque. And so I suggest, just going around, just looking at everything, playing with it, and seeing. So, I mean, you can even control, like, your audio maximum volume at startup, change it to 50%.
and then you can easily just go back and click code at the right up here where my thumb is at the top right hand corner. I'm not going to click code because I don't want to do that, but once you click code, it's going to take a few seconds or whatever, and then, you know, or sometimes it might take about a minute. Like I said, just make sure that you don't have your cellular on, so that you want to keep your data running, but make sure you don't have your cellular on, so that, you know, you don't get a phone call interrupting the coding. I'm going to click discard changes right now, but if any other time, like, yeah, I would just continue the coding. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. You just go in each one of the different, you know, features, and, you know, just do whatever you want to do. Be careful with expert mode. I suggest, if you are not an expert, not to use it. That is really more for the professionals. So yeah, just be careful with that. But you get to definitely, even just on your own, use a lot of different types of customization features and everything that, you know, is just not given to you when you buy any of these cars. So you can, like I said, I have things turned off. Let's go to Advanced Crash Safety Module. Let this read for a second. Some of these take longer than others to read, depending on how much coding it has to do for each separate feature. So you might have one feature that might load in, you know, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and then you might have something else that takes, you know, up to a minute to load. Since I'm loading the advanced crash safety module, this might take a little bit longer. It might take about the same amount of time, but it'll get there. Just be patient with the system. And here we go. So I have the seatbelt reminder driver seat. I actually have that turned off. So it was on active. Now I have it on not active, because I hate every time I get in my car, it tells me to put my seatbelt on pretty much as soon as my car. I get all these warning things. I have it off for the passenger. The indicator lights I did keep on. So, I mean, but like I said, that's up to your preference. And, you know, you just pick which one. You press code in the top right-hand corner, and you're good to go. So that's pretty much how you do all of these. And, you know, once you're done, you know, and you feel like you've got everything, you know, hit disconnect at the bottom, and you're all good. And you just unplug the OBD Reader. I'm not going to unplug my OBD Reader, because there's another app that I want to show you guys that I've also found and I use in this app. I forgot how much I paid for it. I think it was about $10. So we're gonna head right over to that app, and I'm gonna show you that app. So I'm just gonna disconnect this, but I'm not gonna take the OBD Reader out, because you definitely need to keep it in for the next app that I'm gonna show you. So once it connects, you know, you get, these are all of your options you can go in and pretty much mess with. The one thing I like about this app is, you know, you can control some of the physical features of your car. And if you race, or if you're a hard driver or whatever, you can see a lot of things that's going on in your engine while you're doing them. So right now, I'm just, for example, for me, I'm just going to open up some things like, let's take exhaust flap. And when you do the exhaust flap, it'll tell you straight off the bat. Right now, for me, function not available, you know. But for other cars I've seen, for the 4 Series and for the 3 Series, they do have the option of opening and closing the exhaust app. So I'm going to exit that. But other things I like to look at is you can create a dashboard, and this will pretty much give you all of your features that you like to control and watch on one page. So right now, this is my dashboard. I'm going to sit this down really quickly, so I could turn it this way, give you guys a better view. And this works for me. Sorry if you guys see any glare, but this works for me. And you can see a lot of different things. You can see your engine speed, your coolant temperature, your oil temperature. Now, these numbers are in Celsius, and as far as I know, there is no way to change it over to Fahrenheit. So what you might want to do is just look up to see what the Celsius numbers and the Fahrenheit numbers should be about, or whatever, or the like how they're equal, so you know if your numbers are good. This will give you your engine torque actual value percentage. What else do I have here? I don't have too much. And this will give you like your boost pressure or whatever. So I mean, you can literally, for an example, step on the gas. It's all in real time, and you will see these numbers change instantly. You see the engine speed instantly shot up. Let's do that one more time, so you get another. So it went from 6 and change to 4,000. So I mean, just those are just simple features you get to see and look at, and just experiment. You see them in real time while you're driving. They go right up, and it's good to watch, when you're racing, or just if you're taking a long drive, you want to keep track of your car, make sure your car's not going to overheat or anything like that. You can keep a track, particularly on these two numbers, your coolant temperature and your oil temperature, or whatever. You can keep track on those numbers. This will even give you your fuel level, which I'm not 100% sure on how to read this. So, I mean, clearly I'm going to look at my fuel gauge, but I think it's an indication of how much, I'm pretty sure it's an indication of how much fuel you have actually in your tank. I just don't know in what measurements it is giving you that. So those are just simple things you could do with BimmerLink and BimmerCode, and just have fun with, or whatever, and make your car into, I don't want to necessarily say a race car. I don't want to get you people out there all hyper and everything, but just keep a check on your car and see anything that you wanna see. If you go back, this will actually give you. You can go in here and see. It'll read any error codes that your car has. So, and it'll give you a long list. It's not just what error code may be popping up on your dashboard right now. It'll read everything, and it'll tell you, it'll read your whole car and pretty much tell you every aspect that's good or bad, or any past error codes that you have, that even if it's not popping up on the dashboard, it's still running an error code. So we're just gonna try to wait for this to load really quickly. My battery's dying. But we're gonna wait for this to load really quickly. It takes a minute because it's reading everything going on in the car. And we're just gonna take a quick look and see everything that we get. We're gonna scroll down. I'm actually gonna fast forward this a few seconds into time, and okay, so here we go. We have everything that's showing, different errors that you could look at. I mean, I have, some red things here. We'll see what's important, what's not. It might be picking up, some of the stuff that I did to the car. So let's say footwell module 1 error, the welcome light retry active, lock active. not super important. The integrated automatic heating and air conditioning system, the footwell left is blocking or whatever, not super important. I'm actually really comfortable with the way the temperature comes out in my car. The CommBox emergency call, which I don't even think that I use that feature regardless, but I may have that checked out. So, you know, that's pretty much about it. So you could just literally have fun with everything. You can even check your battery percentage and see what your battery percentage is. Your state of charge is at 76%, which is great. You can register your battery replacement right off this app, so you don't have to, you know, do it in person or anything like that. Yeah, and just, you know, have fun with it, explore it, and just use it. Like I said, we're going to disconnect. Oh, also, when you're done with this, you just press disconnect at the bottom, disconnect again, and you're all done.
So those were the two apps that I used. So like I said, with BimmerLink, that was about $10. Was it $10? With BimmerCode, that was about $30. And with the OBD Reader, that was I think about another $25-$30. Altogether for everything, I spent $70. $70 for a little bit of peace of mind doesn't hurt, especially something that gives you a lot of detailed information. So you don't got to go to BMW for it or anything like that. And it gives you a heads up. You can keep better track of your car. So I suggest, you know, you don't have to get everything, you know. I just chose to, but I mean, I suggest if you want to and you're thinking about it, definitely go ahead and do it. And you'll love it. I mean, play around with it, have fun with it, customize your own car. You'll love it. Just make sure that, like I said, you have, you know, your proper stuff turned off, so that you don't get a phone call while you're doing any of this stuff. When you have on BimmerLink, you don't need to have anything turned off. Since that's in real time, you can leave everything the way it is. A phone call will not interrupt your connection with it or anything. And it's just great to have on while you're actually driving. You get to see real-time numbers while you're actually driving, and very detailed. Now, the stuff that I had on my dashboard, you can add more stuff. I didn't want to overload it because I didn't think looking at all that stuff while I was driving is necessary, but there's a lot of things that you can add to your dashboard and play with, and it varies from vehicle to vehicle. So, you know, there's things that you may be able to add to your dashboard and do and control that I might not be able to do, and vice versa. So yeah, definitely give it a try. Definitely download those things and just have some fun, see what you can do with it. But, you know, as far as, you know, everything else that I had to show you and wanted to tell you guys about, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, you know, I have some surprises coming up. I don't know if I've said that before, but I do have some surprises coming up pretty soon. I have a new wrap coming for the car that I'm gonna do with probably within the next hopefully 2 months. A color that I saw and instantly got addicted to. Not a lot of people are using it yet, but I did see it on RDB and I'm kind of addicted to the color, so I wanna make something of it, and do a full wrap on my car with that. So I'm gonna do that myself, and you know, hopefully that comes out amazing, like I said, within like the next month or two. But even before then, I have some crazy surprises. Hopefully we're gonna be able to get some crazy different content from other places and different stuff to enjoy. You know, it's kind of cold over here in Jersey and New York and everything, so, you know, it's not content heavy at the moment. There's not a ton of stuff going on. I know a lot of people are starting to do stuff in March, so, you know, we're gonna take part in some of that stuff, or I'm gonna take part in some of that stuff. You can come along too if you like, but yeah, just stay tuned, hold on, and you'll see what surprises that I have coming up. But, you know, like I said, as for everything else, this video is pretty much over, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully with a few surprises, and you can tell me what you think. But I'm going to leave a link in the description of everything that I've purchased, and you guys can go ahead and purchase that stuff too. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if I'm not an expert in any of these apps that I showed you, so don't think I am. So if there's things that you know how to do, that you've done with your car, that you think maybe I could do or should do with my car, you know, leave a comment in the description, or leave a comment down below and let me know, and I'll look into those, check those out, and play with those in my car, see if I like them, if I think it's suitable for, you know, my needs. But yeah, if anything else, you know, like I said, just let me know. And this video is pretty much over, and I'm out.